You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Stephen A. Smith Show, brought to you by Pennzoil Synthetics, taking synthetic motor oil performance to a whole new level. Make the switch to Pennzoil Synthetics today. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Let's go to Jeremy in New York. You're live with Stephen A. on ESPN Radio. What's up, Jeremy? How are you?
How you doing, Stephen A.?
I'm all right. Talk to me.
What's your feeling on who the Knicks are going to hire? Because I have a terrible feeling they're going to go with David Blatt with his connection to Steve Mills.
I can't imagine that. That's not going to fly. I know that David Blatt has success in Europe, but he's not going to sell in New York. This team is not going to win in the immediate future. It's going to involve some rough edges. It's going to take some time. And there is no way on earth that you can sell New Yorkers to have faith in a David Blatt after, he was pushed out in Cleveland. Even though they weren't losing, they were winning. LeBron didn't want them, and that does count against you. Anthony in Dallas, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, Stephen A., much homage to you, man. Just keep leading. You asked the question about why the NBA is able to, increase their TV ratings while the NFL was impacted negatively by, this Kaepernick situation.
Yes,
and I think, it's all about the commissioner. And he's the brightest commissioner out there. They have a true but positive relationship between the owners and the players. They allow the players to speak out. If you remember right, actually.
By the way, excuse me for interjecting, Anthony, but I want to also applaud the commissioner for saying that Greg Popovich has earned the right to speak out as well. Greg Popovich served in the military. It's not like you can accuse him of not doing his job. He's a 5-time champion. He's consistently delivered a sublime product to the city of San Antonio. And any San Antonio Spur fan out there who wants to turn against Greg Popovich because of his comments for the president, that's your damn problem. The fact of the matter is, and it's not about siding with his comments about the president or not. It's about the fact that he's entitled to his opinion. And to hold that against him and to not support the team because you don't like what he had to say about the president, you got to look in the mirror. I have no problem with Greg Popovich doing that whatsoever. But go ahead.
I agree with Stephen A. And, of course, the communication between the president and the players was greater with the NBA players, with Steph Curry, with, again, Coach Kerr, with LeBron James. I mean, just spats going back and forth. But the NBA is still able to strive. Their TV ratings are up significantly this year. And so the thing that I enjoy about the NBA, they have an opportunity to expand their brand greater, in my view, over the next 10 years than even the NFL. They can move into different European markets. And I just wanted to say that. Great interview. You did an incredible job, and I appreciate it, and just keep doing a great job.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I got to tell you something right now. The NBA could very well move ahead of the NFL because you got to remember, they have successfully globalized their brand. You got players from all over the world playing in the National Basketball Association. The NFL can't say that. They want to make a big deal when they go to Europe. Now, the NFL is king because football's an event and there's only 16 games a year, and we love our football. But there's no question that the NBA has done a successful job. It's usurped Major League Baseball. It really has. No way around it. Kentrell in Atlanta, real quick. You're live with Stephen A. Go ahead.
Hey, Stephen A. A couple of quick points. I definitely agree with you on the NBA becoming bigger than the NFL. I think it's moving closer to soccer, but that's not my point. My first point was I think the Boston Celtics or the Los Angeles Lakers will make moves towards getting Kawhi. I don't think Trader Danny is done, and I think he has the young assets with Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum that he could maybe explore something with Kawhi. Where do you feel like
you talk about Danny Ainge in Boston?
Yeah, Danny Ainge in Boston.
No. Stop right there, because I got a question for you. It comes down to this, very, very simple. And we only got 30 seconds. All ready, Kentrell? You ready for this question?
I got you.
Are you willing to give up both Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum?
I don't think I can do that. It's too much.
I
don't think I can do that.
That's exactly why I asked you. Because guess what? If you want Kawhi, why shouldn't I want both of those guys in return? An NBA Finals MVP and a champion who's one of the best 3 players in the world when healthy? Why shouldn't I? Think about that, Kendrell, and call me back tomorrow. ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance, with insurance for cars, home, boat, motorcycles, RVs, and commercial vehicles at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Girl, you're looking sweeter now. Ow. When was the last time you checked your credit scores? Know what they are now? Not from a year ago with Credit Karma. Credit Karma makes knowing your credit score simpler and easier to understand. Learn more at creditkarma.com or download the Credit Karma app. That's Credit Karma, KARMA.com. Stephen A. Smith Show also brought to you by Vivid Seats, the official ticket partner of ESPN. Download the free Vivid Seats app today to get your tickets. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. Back to the calls we go about Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, being on with us. And, of course, the NBA playoff games that took place last night. Plus tonight's game. Warriors beat the Spurs last night. Miami, led by Dwayne Wade, took out Philadelphia, ended their 17-game winning streak. I got to say this before I go to the calls, though. I am sick and tired of all of this noise. I completely agree with Joel Embiid. Minus the expletive. Stop babying him. Let him play. If this were his foot or this were his knee, I got it. His orbital sock. I mean, come on. Put on a mask and let him get to work. You got a championship you're trying to win. The Philadelphia 76ers have an opportunity here. Do I think they're going to win a championship? No, but they got a shot. They got a damn good shot to make the finals. Cleveland's vulnerable. Indiana might not be ready yet. Neither might the Washington Wizards. The Greek Freak in Milwaukee ain't those dudes yet. Kyrie Irving is hurt in Boston. And Toronto's north of the border. I mean, they're the favorites, but you got a shot. Now, they beat the Sixers 3 out of 4 this year, blew them out twice, but the Sixers beat them in the last meeting they played against one another. The bottom line is, if Joel Embiid is in the lineup, the Philadelphia 76ers got a shot to go to the championship. This is what the process, trust the process. This is what's supposed to be all about. Ain't it? Wasn't this about a title? Wasn't this about not being mediocre, not being middle of the world or the road? Either stink up the joint or be a legitimate title contender. Am I right, John? Am I right, Nuno? Am I right, Kat? That's what I remember. That's what I remember. And we got the whole gamut covered. I'm black, John's white, Kat's Russian, and who the hell knows what the hell Nuno is. Mexican, Portuguese, I don't know. We got the whole gamut covered. Everybody's on the same page. This is what the process is supposed to mean. You're in a position right now to compete for a championship. Who knows what the Philadelphia 76ers, I believe they'll be legit. I believe they'll be big time. But who knows what they're going to be once Boston has both Gordon Hayward and Kyrie Irving. Who's to say that Boston isn't going to go out because they see Philadelphia and how Philadelphia is elevated? Who's to say that Boston isn't going to go out and get Kyrie? I'm sorry, get Kawhi. Who's to say that's not going to happen? This is your opportunity. And you want to sit up there and pacify him? What are you going to put around him, an apron and a bib or something? What the hell is going on? Let him play. If the Miami Heat win Thursday night in Game 3, Joel Embiid better be on that court Saturday afternoon. He better be on that court Saturday afternoon. You do not, again, ladies and gentlemen, if it were his foot or his knee, something in the lower extremities, I get it. This man, there's been played Rip Hamilton, Kobe Bryant, the list goes on. Plenty of people have worn masks before. Kyrie wore a mask before. You fractured an orbital, and trust me, I understand. It must have been some serious damage because, my God, Markelle Fultz got an O.J. Simpson side head. That's a big-headed boy. No disrespect. He can play, and I like him. I don't like when he didn't talk to the media that day. That's not smart. You don't want to sit up there and turn the media into an enemy in Philadelphia. But that's all. Other than that, I like Markelle Fultz. And he can play. But boy, does he have a large-sized head. That brother's head hitting Joel Embiid in the eye. I have no doubt that Joel Embiid needed to go to another concussion protocol just yesterday. And it happened weeks ago. Because that's how big Markelle Fultz' head is. I get it. But having said all of that, here's the bottom line. Joel Embiid said he's ready to go. He's ready to go. And when the Sixers ain't hit perimeter shots, it's a problem. Their defense is big time. But when they ain't hit perimeter shots, it's a problem. Put Joel Embiid back in the damn lineup and stop playing games. He better be up in that lineup by Saturday. He better be back playing by Saturday. He's trying to win a championship or not, Philadelphia. Trust the process. Trust the process. Y'all make me sick with that nonsense. But I completely support Joel Embiid. Play that man now. Chris in L.A., you live with Stephen A. Go ahead.
Hey, Stephen A. Happy Tuesday. Real quick, regarding what Commissioner Silver said, when you asked about the seedings, something I have to disagree with him on. He mentioned that he believes that the travel would be too much on the players and that could lead to injuries or whatnot. I'm paraphrasing, but I think, Stephen A., if you were to sit down with the players and they were to survey, I think the players would take that chance for opportunity to compete for a championship rather than
Stop right there. Stop right there. What he's saying is that you would take the 8 teams that made the playoffs from the East, the 8 team that made the playoffs from the West, and rather than play within your own conference, be 1 to 16 seeded. But his concern is, what if you had Boston versus LA in the first round? That if not injury, it certainly contributes to fatigue. And if not in that specific series, certainly in series that extend beyond that cannot be ignored.
No, and I agree 1,000% with that. But my question to you is, do you think the players would necessarily agree with that, or do you think they would take the chance to get the opportunity to compete for a championship? You're looking at a team like Denver didn't get a chance to make it the playoffs.
No. That's why I interrupted you, because you're wrong. He's not talking about a team taking the top 16 teams in the league. He's saying just like it is now, once the playoffs begin, there were 8 teams in the playoffs from each conference, right, Chris?
Correct. Yes.
He's saying to take those same 8 teams from each conference and make them seeded 1 through 16 as opposed to 1 through 8 in each conference. So Denver still would have been out. He's only talking about taking the 8 teams from each conference that makes the playoffs. And once that's been determined, have seeds 1 through 16 as opposed to 2 1 through 8 seeds.
You're listening to the Stephen A. Smith Show podcast.
Surprise a friend or a loved one today with a bouquet from 1-800-Flowers.com. When you order a dozen multicolored roses for only $29.99, you'll get another dozen absolutely free. So go to 1-800-Flowers.com/ESPN. Jonathan in San Fran, you're live with Stephen A. Talk to me.
All right, Stephen A., I got one question for you. After watching Ben Simmons, do you believe that he still doesn't have a jump shot, or are you just afraid to take his shot?
No, he doesn't have a jump shot. He has everything else. He doesn't have a jump shot. And you know how you know that also? You watch him at the free throw line. He doesn't have it. Talk to me tomorrow, though. Thanks a lot. Ron in Queens, you're live with Stephen A. What's up? Ron,
Stephen A., what's happening?
Go ahead, brother. You're on the line. Go ahead.
If the Knicks mess this up with Mark Jackson, it will be another 10 years of misery. That's a no-brainer. But
I wouldn't go that far, because David Fizdale's a candidate, and I think Jerry Stackhouse has a lot of promise, but Mark Jackson needs to be the man they select. That's true.
Stephen A., did you say earlier you wouldn't send Jaylen Brown and Tatum for Kawhi Leonard?
No. I asked the caller, what would you do? Because he kept saying, you know what, I want Kawhi Leonard. They got to get Kawhi Leonard. I said, all right, would you trade them both? Because that's what you're going to ask for that's what you're going to ask for if you San Antonio. And he was like, I said, that's what I thought. I ain't giving up both. I'd give up one of them in a heartbeat. Not both for Kawhi Leonard. That ain't happening. Appreciate the call. Jay in Denver, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead, Jay, real quick.
Hey, what's up, Stephen A.? Beautiful interview with the commissioner.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Definitely got to have a part 2. No, I definitely agree with you with the Joel Embiid needs to play, especially if they lose Game 3. I mean, if Kyrie Irving could play half the season with a mask, Joel Embiid could put a mask on and play.
That's right.
And that's what they're going to need to do, especially if he loses.
All right. Completely agree. Appreciate the call, Jay. Thank you so much. James in San Antonio, you're live with Stephen A. Go ahead, James.
Hey, Stephen A.
Go ahead, buddy, real quick. Go ahead.
All right. Hey, one of the reasons I think Joel Embiid ain't playing is you got to remember who his coach is, Brown, who used to be assistant to Coach Pop. And Pop, he'll rest his guys if they got a hangnail. So we'll wonder if we'll see him at all.
Well, I don't think this is a Brett Brown decision. I think this is Brian Colangelo along with Sixers ownership, and they, trust the process. They make me so damn sick with that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself. But I think that's what this is. But let's talk about that tomorrow, James. Thank you so much. Lewis in the Bronx, you're live with Stephen A. What's up?
How's it going, Stephen A?
I'm all right. You only got a minute. Go ahead.
All right, I wanted to make a quick comparison. How bad does it look for Kawhi Leonard that a guy like Joel Embiid is dying to play, and he's legit? Kawhi, it's rumored that he's healthy, and his team needs him, and he's sitting out.
Well, it doesn't look bad if Kawhi is legitimately hurt and can't go. And only he and his people know that. It looks very bad if there's a question mark as to whether or not he could go, which seems to be the impression that the players gave when they had that players-only meeting and confronted him, because as Steven Jackson, the former champion with the San Antonio Spurs, pointed out on national television, they never would have approached Kawhi Leonard without Greg Popovich's okay. And we see how Popovich has been dismissive, pointing to Kawhi's team, not to mention him raving about LaMarcus Aldridge and the way he played. And when the last time you heard that happen?
That's just a sample of what you'll hear on the Stephen A. Smith Show. Weekdays at 1 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.